think that's the other thing is sort of within identity politics is not only how do you identify, but how marginalised are you, how much privilege do you have?
Yeah, that is, it could be seen as sort of a bit of a problem because the whole idea of these groups who come together as a safe space for the LGBTQ communities is to give everyone a say and everyone a voice, but it almost counteracts that when some people who aren't necessarily needing that voice as much don't have that voice anymore.
Yeah,
and I find that especially with like the BBC, for example.
Yeah.
Then everyone they have to give everyone a chance, and it's fair enough to give everyone a chance. It's fair, but is there a point where you have to stop that? Like there has to just be a point where the best person for the best job.
Yeah, and I mean, this is why I find it really interesting. This way it gets really complex and really interesting. Is sort of if you've got two people with the same credentials, and actually you've got someone who is a privileged, straight white male and confident and has all these privileges attached to them, and on paper they're the exact same person, but this one is really like outgoing, really chatty, really easy to get along with, and just like a really great person to have around, versus someone who's not, perfectly lovely, but has come from a much harder working background, is like they can do the job well and then lovely, but this other person's like, oh, they just want to have them around the office, and the other person is like they can do the job, and actually our quota suggests that we're more favourable towards that person anyway. Should we be employing the person who doesn't fit the privilege role just because we need to get our quota up? And then and then it's the other thing about, well, this person could fit better in the office, this person has a better fit with the culture, but then what are you saying about your culture of your company?
Do you think that's happening a lot with companies, that they're just trying to fill quotas?
I don't think it is. I think that's an really extreme example, and I don't think it is.
It's been illegal for a while, surely.
Well, quotas have become a thing, and those are important, and it's not, and it's always going to be tricky, and because a lot of the way that companies will like process people allows for like individual opinion, allows for character over traits, and allows for, well, we just don't think that'd be a good fit. And so, it is always tricky, and that was a really like kind of an extreme example of like a minor case. But I think generally there will be a ploy to encourage a more diverse workspace.